Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Rex. I don't ever do this, but I'm coming in for a review of a chapter. I'm not live streaming it. Not editing it, so this is just like completely new to me. Yeah, but we're gonna be here talking about My Hero Academia chapter 334. I had to do a review on this chapter because of what happened. It's really insane, honestly. So if you really just want to know my opinion on the chapter, I think it's bad. I think this is a terrible chapter. For the past couple of chapters, I've been saying these chapters are good in the vacuum, but the implications are bad. But no, this chapter is bad in terms of execution and implication. So yeah, I'm just gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be going line by line of the chapter, and we're gonna just be breaking it down. So if you guys want to have a discussion with me, leave a comment down below. My Discord link is down there too if you want to talk to me. I'm here happy to hear anybody' opinion on anything. If you like it, if you don't like it, just let me know. So let's get into it. We start the chapter with Shikaraki running away. Shigaraki conveniently has the normal wings now, but it's whatever. You could just shoot right that off because he could have gotten it with all the confusion, but it just seems kind of crazy how fast he was able to switch places with the Nomu, get hit by the missiles, and then have time to take the Nomu's quirk and stuff. So, but it is what it is. So we see him flying. He gets away, and we see that apparently if New Order stays in and All For One in Shigaraki's body for too long, that All For One would cease to exist. Apparently, it would completely erase his existence, not just the quirks, which is crazy to think that this one quirk is doing all that damage inside of the Vestige world, where it's. And I know Stars didn't have this in mind. There's no way she could know about the Vestige world or how to maneuver in it because we saw that Shigaraki and Deku both, when they first were in the Vestige world, didn't have a sense of like movability or any motor function. They both were kind of, you know, out of it. So n- her and New Order being able to do this in the vicious world is an anomaly just because of what the rule was and just because reality warping is such a powerful quirk. So yeah. And he has a vision about All Might. He says, "No matter where I go, you're always there." And we see All Might in his prime walking menacingly towards him. And Shigaraki uses some combination of quirks, or he's just that fast where he's able to outfly the jets, which is insane. So we know his speed feats are just like out of this world. The fastest person in the series we've seen so far. And so, interesting enough, um, one of the pilots says that Stars and Stripes has surpassed All Might as the greatest hero. And I know I see some people saying that oh, this is just not true. Maybe she did it in some death way or like no, but this is horror. I think people have to stop taking things and making them way more complex than they have to be. This is Horikoshi letting you guys know that Stars and Stripes here and now is stronger than All Might was in his prime, and she has surpassed him as a hero. It's plain and simple as that. It's not complicated. There doesn't need to be a 10-hour essay about this. You don't need to think too deep about it. Just look at it at face value, and there you go. Stars and Stripes is stronger than in Prime All Might. That means Shigaraki right now is stronger than Prime All Might and All For One, which which was already suspected, but I see people disagreeing with that. Um, and then as we continue on with the chapter, we meet this villain couple. They're chilling out, and here's what the chapter just like takes a huge dip in quality. Shigaraki breaks into the house. I'm assuming he used search or some other ability to see that there were people there. And as he's going to take the quirk, he's going to take his the villain's quirk, give him New Order so that New Order won't revolt in his body. But apparently, and this is crazy because there was no mention of it earlier, and nor does it make any sense that New Order is going to disappear in Shigaraki's body because she was, well, the quirk New Order was fighting all the quirks. It's like, so wait, what? You know what I mean? It's like, so not only does Cassie die, Stars and Stripe, but also New Order disappears. So it's kind of like she never existed in the first place, nor the quirk ever existed in the first place. And this is what I want to talk about. Now that Cassie is officially dead, now that Stars and Stripes is officially dead, and now that her quirk is no longer in the series, we can all agree that the purpose of Stars and Stripes in the story was one, to nerf Shigaraki because Horikoshi made him entirely too strong with regeneration and all the quirks he had, and the enhanced durability and physicality that the doctor gave him. So Horikoshi needed a way to retroactively nerf him. I don't think Stars and Stripes was a concept he always had in mind. I think that he may have had a general idea about a character like this, but I don't think that the quirk and everything that she has, I think that is last minute. And I think that the purpose of that was Horikoshi realized that she was too strong, so she needed a way to nerf Shigaraki. And the way she nerfed him is by removing some of his quirks. We don't know which quirks are removed, but I guarantee you regeneration is one of them. And if it's not, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be some other heavy hitter quirks that Shigaraki had. But I think it's regeneration because there's no point of nerfing Shigaraki if you're not gonna take away regeneration because nobody could beat him if regeneration is gone. Um, Two, the other purpose of Stars and Stripe was to stop the global heroes from coming to Japan. This way that you won't have any international conflict, and then my hero is now self-contained in Japan, which is really bad because I feel like these are two ways for Horikoshi to shrink the story and make it easier to write, but he did it in such a bad way. The execution was terrible. You could have nerfed Shigaraki, and also you could have had the international heroes not show up, but you did it in a real way where Stars and Stripes comes in and we had no prior knowledge to her. She has no prior knowledge like interactions with any character. She's just a new character that comes out of nowhere. Does something very big for the story, and then just disappeared like nothing ever happened. Like she was never there. Like at least even with Stain, bro, like when we got introduced to Stain, we had an introduction through Ida's brother and what he's doing and all the stuff he's doing. And then he had an interaction with Shigaraki. With Genta, we see him his backstory, La Brava, blah 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 blah. Night Eye, we hear that he's All Might's sidekick, and we see that he worked with him. Then we see him talking to Deku and Mirio, and it's like when you get introduced to these characters, you get a little something from them, and you feel for them, and you get grow attached to them, and then we get their death or their defeat or their demise or whatever they do in the series. Stars and Stripe didn't get any of that. She just came in, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I handled Shigaraki the way I was supposed to. Now that Shigaraki is nerfed, the kids can come in. And also the last one that the reason Star Strike would come was to push Shigaraki date back further. Which is crazy because you didn't even have to speed up his date in the first place. It was like you Shiger Horikoshi did something which is crazy where he created a problem that nobody asked for, which was Shigaraki being super OD, and then he came up with an ass pull way to get rid of the problem. He's creating problems and solutions that don't need to happen to write an amazing story. So, and like it doesn't feel good. The pacing is terrible. We're speeding on through, and like after this chapter and after saying everything and like with this chapter, I should say that there's 100 chapters like of My Hero left. 65 max. 65 chapters max, 40 chapters minimum. This series is ending very, very soon. It's ending very soon. We're not getting 200 chapters. We no longer have to worry about the global threat. We no longer have to worry about the global heroes. We no longer have to introduce all these new characters development. We don't have to worry about any of that. Everything for the most part is tied up. The only thing that's open ended right now is Dabi. And then you can handle that in the last couple of fights and like in 40 chapters. And I mean, all you got to do is reunite the league somehow, and it seems like All for One is going to be the final villain. So that's also terrible. Like I always said, if All for One was the final villain in My Hero Academia, it would be absolutely dog shit. It would be absolutely terrible because we grew with Shigaraki and we expect him to be the final villain, and we want him to go out in a glorious fashion, a glorious death, a glorious defeat. We don't. It doesn't look like we're getting that, especially with what happens later in the chapter. Um, So yeah, Stars and Stripe, cool character design, I guess. If you like that, I don't like her character design, but I know people do. But that's subjective, it's to each their own. Mediocre backstory, um, tied it into the movie, but not really. It's like canon, but not canon. Plot convenience. Like that's all she is. It's just a convenience to nerf Shigaraki and put the like to straighten the path of the story without it being super crazy. That's all she's here for. That's literally all she's here for. Then as we continue on with the chapter, this is sickening. This is sickening. It's like if that wasn't bad enough, we see All for One says, and this is the scans. The official translation may be different, and if it's different, then disregard everything I'm saying right now. But we see All for One say, "That's enough. For humans, as long as we survive, it's a victory. Now get out, you corpse," talking to Stars and Stripes or New Order. And then we see like a hole in All for One's chest, and then we see a hero, and those are the words. And then we see young Tenko Shimura surrounded by a whole bunch of hands, grabbing him, trapping him, and then Izuku Midoriya, because Stars and Stripes previously said that a hero would defeat him, and then Tenko says a hero, and then he remembers Izuku Midoriya. So what this implicates and what this says is that Tenko Shimura wants Izuku Midoriya to save him. Trash. Absolute garbage. Why is this here? At the beginning of the war arc, well, not even the beginning, like the a little further into the war arc, when Shigaraki is about to wake up and we see him in that dreamscape, Shigaraki literally destroys all his parents, destroys his sisters, destroys everybody close to him, and says, "Don't reject me. Don't reject me. Don't reject who I am and who I have become. I am no longer that scared little boy. I'm no longer Tenko Shimura. I'm Shigaraki Tomura." As he walks in and gets ready to go on his rampage. This right here completely kills all of that. Because that was Shigaraki saying, "I'm no longer that boy. I no longer need to be saved. I am my own person. Don't feel bad for my circumstances because this is who I am now. Yes, my circumstances are sad and tragic and they built me, but I'm okay with that and this is who I am. I am Shigaraki Tomura. I am I'm the symbol of death and destruction of evil, and that's okay. But this right here says, no, I'm not really Shigaraki Tomura. And deep inside, I am Tenko Shimura at the end of the day, and I want to be saved by somebody. I'm still that scared little 5-year-old that was walking the streets bloody and wanted a hero to save him." Yeah, I don't like that. I wanted Shigaraki I wanted Shigaraki to. I, I was cool with Deku somehow saving him, I guess, but not really. I wanted some way to for Shigaraki to have his quirk removed, and then that way Deku can subdue him or something like that. But the way it's going, it's like Shigaraki himself wants to be saved, and then Deku is going to save him because he's already said he's going to save him. And then at the end of the war, Deku says it looks like he wanted to be saved. He looked like somebody that wanted to be saved. Just like what he said to Bakugo. Just like he always says, "You look like you wanted to be saved. You look like you wanted to be helped." He said that to Todoroki too. So Shigaraki is just on the list of people that Deku is saving with Koda. Like it's sad to see that all the development we got for Shigaraki is about to be just cut away and it doesn't matter because he's a scared little boy that needs to be saved. I could be wrong, but this is the vibe it's giving off. This is the implications it's giving. It just doesn't feel good. Then we go on, and then we learn that, of course, that Shigaraki was already gone when the other heroes arrived. Stars and Stripes' death spread across the world within a day. Social media, thank you for that. Then we learned about all the global heroes banning, moving in, traveling to Japan. So basically, Japan is alone to deal with the threat of Shigaraki, even though they're stupid because what will happen if is Shigaraki will keep fighting the heroes of Japan. Allegedly, this is just a hypothetical scenario, and this is why the global heroes and everybody are dumb. If he keeps fighting all the heroes and he eventually wins, he's going to have all their quirks, and Shigaraki will be even stronger. Then he'll have even more allies under him. So then he can start going to country and just taking over things. Like you not helping Japan is actually harming you in the long run because he's just going to get stronger. And then he can save Ujiko. Then he could get more modifications to his body. And then he's just a guy. Now you got All for One that's like has Ujiko helping him. Then the new Shigaraki. You got Melvin. You got All for One and Melvin working together to take over the world. You got two OP people and nobody can stop them. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, It's like it doesn't make sense. Why would you not, why would you not shoot send in all your heroes right now while he's injured, scour the country and destroy him? There's got to be one person in the world that has a quirk that can find him with some DNA or something. So it makes absolutely no sense, like from a logistical standpoint. But again, this is just Horikoshi wanting to just wanting the global threat to not the global heroes and the global associations to not come and help Japan so he could keep it self-contained in Japan. That's his way of doing that, which is trash. Because don't even give us why would you even give us hope of the heroes coming if you were just gonna if you were just gonna get rid of it? That's just like with Stars and Strike. Why give us hope of this great thing and this quirk just to get rid of it in like 6 chapters? He did all of this in 6 or 7 chapters. He introduced all of these concepts and all of these things in 6 or 7 chapters and got rid of them in 6 to 7 chapters. It's like what? Why introduce them and bring them up if you're just gonna get rid of them right away? It's no point. You should never even told us about it. Why get our hopes up? You know what I mean? And then we get something even crazier. It's like we learned that like one of the pilots says the Stars and Stripe sacrifice wasn't in vain, and that they have. I'm gonna read this to you. And again, this is scans could be different in officials. We were able to measure his biological processes and have an onboard analysis of his quirk. I'm sure this data will be. I'm sure this data will prove invaluable. Wait, so they have technology that can analyze someone's quirk and tell you what it does? What? What? So now they have a detailed list of all the quirks that All for One has and what he does and doesn't have. What? How convenient is that? This is again like the genius situation. What magical technology? We never even heard about this type of technology before. He basically have searched on steroids for technology. Why? Why? Like, what's the purpose of this? To give the students another edge? You already nerfed him by with Stars and Stripes and New Order and destroying the quirks inside of his body, but now we have a cheat sheet of all the of his quirks. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you just pulling stuff out your ass that like you're no longer setting up anything and crafting a good story. You're just pulling stuff out to move the story forward. Dude, he's rushing towards the finish line as fast as possible. As fast as possible. That's what he's doing. He's rushing towards the finish line because why is that okay? Why like why is that okay? And I know there's some people that are like, and again, if you like this stuff, it's cool. Like it's cool if you like what's going on in My Hero Academia, right? But the moment that you have a conversation with me and you want to discuss these things with me, like I said in my last stream, you have to be willing to realize that these are some writing flaws in Horikoshi, and this is actually not good writing. It's not. If you like, there's a lot of series that do stuff like this, and I don't care because I'm not heavily invested in it. But because I'm heavily invested, mm, you know what I mean? And then we get somebody at at Central Hospital says you haven't had a chance to study that freak's body yet, right? And I'm assuming they're talking about Kurogiri. For some reason, they're about to study Kurogiri, and it's gonna give them another edge against Shigaraki. I don't know how. Maybe they're gonna bring back Azawa's friend. Who knows? Maybe they're able to use warp. Maybe they're able to find some answers to Shigaraki body through Kurogiri because we know he's the first time functioning Nomu. We don't know. We don't know where that's going. But again, the magical hospital with the magical technology is about to do something magical that we've never heard of at the last moment and stop something. I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. That's all I know. And it's like, come on, bro. Like for what? For what? What reason? What reason did you have to do this? Did you need to do this? You know what I mean? It's like I don't see the purpose of Central Hospital doing this and some other stuff again. I don't know, man. It's just like, what's the point of doing all of this? Um, and then we get the kids finally, and I mean, they are notified that they have another week, and that they need to train, and that they have to prepare for the final battle between All For One and Shigaraki. I mean, I guess we're entering the final arc. The final couple of The home stretch, man. We're there for My Hero Academia, and it's been a disappointment. Chapter 334 has a lot of issues, not only in the execution of how he did things and how they just seem to be conveniently placed and they just drop out of nowhere, and how things like don't make sense, or how, like, for example, like Tenko like wanted to be saved when he already got rid of that boy last arc at the war, or how conveniently the pilots have magical technology, or how conveniently Stars and Stripes plan for a new order to destroy itself within Shigaraki after it destroys some quirks, so he can never use it in any way, shape, or form, any capacity. But which is bullshit, because what if he was able to take it from one of the pilots? You know what I mean? It's like it just so happened that it worked that way, like conveniently, after he had to travel a couple of 100 miles or whatever to get to the pilots. It's just like, I mean, get to the new villain to try to give her. It just conveniently disappeared. It's like, come on, Horikoshi, bro, you could do better than that, man. You can, and I've seen you do better than that. That's why I'm so disappointed. I'm not mad anymore. Like I no longer get upset about My Hero Academia. I'm so past the point of getting upset. When 295 released and we had those 2 weeks of no chapters or whatever, and we was all arguing, that's when I was upset. That's when I was angry. That's when I was arguing with everybody. I'm so past that. I'm just now disappointed. Um, so yeah, my review of the chapter is 3 out of 10, bro. The art is amazing. That's the only thing that's keeping My Hero going. Like, the art is always going to be amazing. The art is always fantastic. If he was to write a horror manga that's like 100 chapters, I would read the heck out of it. Because I do think he's a good enough writer and mangaka to write a short series. I think that now that My Hero's been going on for so much longer, that we're starting to see the flaws in his writing ability. I think if this series was the original 30 volumes, I think My Hero would have been perfection. But he just kept, but he's had the shonen mangaka thing where things just get too big and he just has to do this instead of keeping it concise. I mean, My Hero is still pretty concise comparatively to other manga and other shonen, so yeah. But I think if My Hero was just 30 volumes, it would have been perfect. But now he's gone on too long. We don't have much longer though. I give us 65 chapters maximum, 40 chapters minimum. Um, yeah, the art's amazing. That's about it. That's the only good thing I can say about this chapter. Bad in execution, bad in implication. Um, so and I don't see how anybody could defend this, because everybody was hyped for the global heroes. Now they're no longer coming. Everybody was hyped for Shikaraki doing something, but now he wants to be saved. I mean, everybody was hyped to see like Shigaraki reveal some quirks in the final battle, but now they have a list of the quirks. Everybody was hype about Stars and Stripes being, I mean, New Order being used in some creative way or something, or it constantly being a Shigaraki body, and he has to constantly combat it for the rest of his life, and that's gonna be his nerve. It New Order's just gone, and it never existed. Neither the Stars and Stripes, So, 3 out of 10. Terrible chapter. Art's the only thing that saved it once again. So, yeah, all right. So if you guys want to leave a comment down below, do that. Like, dislike, don't care. Yeah, if you want to have a discussion with me, leave a comment. I'll discuss it with you. Or if you want to join my Discord and have a conversation, a vocal, I'm free. My birthday's tomorrow, so be I won't be talking to y'all tomorrow. But other than that, anytime other than that, I'll be happy to talk to anybody. So yeah, Rex is here to say I love you all for any type of support that y'all have given me. Anybody that's ever had a discussion with me in this community, love everybody. I hope everything's good in y'all personal lives. It's crazy out there. Corona cases are about to start rising again. So I just want everybody to be safe out there and have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. And I love you all. Rex out.